Well, good morning once again, pilots, and we are live streaming the majority of this event at FPVLive.tv, and we're very excited here. CFL Meet 2016, the CFL FPV Meet 2016, and we are now live. My name is Joe Scully, race director for a little bit of racing and commentator, I guess, host with a little bit of stuff here for the course of the event, and what an exciting weekend that we're getting into. This is day number 2 now of CFL FPV Meet 2016, and we have a bunch of great partners with us throughout the course of this event, not only helping us with some financial support, but a lot of tech and gear. And here this morning, we're very fortunate to have one of the innovators, the leading name when it comes to anything RF reception and even transmission, and that is IBCrazy, or you know him as Alex G from Video Aerial Systems, and he's with us here for the course of the weekend, going to do some flying and so forth, but also we're going to talk a little bit some of the new equipment that is coming out. Nice to visit with you again here in Florida. Exciting times in the sunshine at CFL Meet 2016.
Yeah, I'm just very happy it's dry this time.
Yeah.
You know, I still wore the waterproof boots. Everybody remembers Mudfest, so.
Exactly.
It's not as warm, but you know, you Florida people like your jackets.
Yeah,
I'm starting
exactly.
to get a little hot in this.
Well, I'm actually Canadian, so I'm double packed. So this is like my last trip. When we went to XDC2 in Las Vegas, I was expecting warmer weather, and I was wearing 5 layers. Today I'm only wearing 3, just getting acclimated. But you're just rocking a sweatshirt. I saw a guy wearing shorts. I don't know what's with the weather here.
Well, I haven't had time to change. I got the shorts in the RV.
So you just rolled in. You're not too far from here?
Well, it's about an 11-hour drive. So I got in at about 4 o'clock this morning, which, okay. But I was up till about 2 o'clock the night before. I'm operating right now on about 6 hours of sleep.
Nice.
In the last 2 days.
That's amazing, yeah. Lots of people coming from near and far. My commute was 27 hours from when I left my house until I arrived here, because we went on a road trip. And did you stop and do any flying on the way down here?
Oh, no. Just trying to make it. I spent all of Wednesday underneath the RV trying to fix water leaks.
Oh, no.
Yeah, those lovely little surprises when you're trying to get out the door. Oh, well.
It's all about surprising. Well, I came down in the ready-made RC RV, and so our commute was pretty short. I think it was only about 13 hours from Lewis Center, Ohio, here to Sorrento, Florida for CFL Meet 2016. But we had to stop and fly, and we had to get a lot of fuel. So that bus, we brought so much gear from ready-made RC down here, from you know, wings to craft to everything that goes in it, and we were only getting like 4.6 miles per gallon the whole way. So we were stopping every about 3 hours for fuel. We only flew 1 pack because it was so windy on the way down here, but now it's nice, and well, they're getting those lipos being burnt. Yeah,
we were getting practically blown off the road, but somebody has a lead foot because I was getting 7.
7, yeah. Well, the thing is, I do a lot of rodeo stuff, and we haul the big rigs, and normally we knock the overdrive off, but these guys were in a hurry to get down here to enjoy some of this Florida lake weather, and they just left it in overdrive. So that thing was screaming like a demon the whole way down the interstate, the whole way down from Ohio. So yeah, there was no sleeping too, because you just fall asleep, and all of a sudden,
oh, how could you sleep in the wind? I had the wheel like 90 degrees just trying to keep it straight.
Yeah,
it was brutal.
It was an adventure, and you're here, and of course, I've seen one of those, 2 of those. I've been watching. You know, we're Facebook friends. That's the one I was looking for. This is the latest thing that came out, the Triumph TBS. You've built it for Trappy, I believe, and this is what everyone is talking about right now. We'll get to those other ones. I know the whole story here, but a lot of people now going to finally be able to see, touch one of these new Triumph antennas in their hands here at the CFL FPV Meet 2016, and we're going to see the video on the craft. This is exciting. This is a great venture for you, partnering.
Well, the truth is Raphael and I have been working together for almost 3 years. It's just, it hasn't really been in the public light. The TBS patch, I designed that one years ago. You know, you'll see a bunch of TBS products that are coming out. Well, I've had my hand in quite a few of them. We're just, I don't know, we're friends, so we just work together.
That's a great thing about this industry, right? It's a collaborative effort. Everyone wants to see everyone succeed.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say everyone. But you know, one of the things is this is the a new DuraSpec stubby. People were asking for a shorter version, so I made this. But if you compare it to the Triumph, I mean, the Triumph is half the size.
And just for our friends at FPVLive.tv, the people that are probably in colder weather than we have right now, they're like, why is that guy wearing a jacket? I got the wood stove going, the gorgeous weather here. But for our friends at home, you can see this is, we're going to get to that because some of my favorite videos where, you know, you've been lately in your videos, Alex, you've been very poised, professional, and calm. But then when you were demonstrating the DuraSpec, that's where I saw the crazy come out in IBCrazy, right? But you can see the size there. Yeah, it is way more compact and light.
Yeah,
I'm surprised in the lightness.
Yeah, the Triumph is a jack of all trades, master of none. It does everything well, but it specializes in nothing in particular. You know, it's reasonably light. You know, you compare it to a DuraSpec or a Bluebeam Ultra. The DuraSpec is way tougher, but doesn't quite have the signal quality. But the Bluebeam Ultra has better signal quality, but it's bigger and not quite as tough. So, and then the great thing is, you know, I'm the guy that everybody, when it comes to antennas, it's either mine or it's a clone of it.
Right.
And I get this argument, oh, there's only one way to make a CP antenna, and you can't own that. Well, really?
Yeah. There's the testament right there.
There's more than one way to skin a cat. You know, so this is a totally different style. It's very new to me, and just to give you an idea, Trappy and I, we have $35,000 into developing this little thing.
In developing it, wow.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, and I really like that, you know, it's not everyone sees them round or whatever, you know, there's so many similarities with all these antennas because there's a lot of people that you've, you know, opened the door. So if you can do it on your couch, there's people all over the world. They're looking at your antennas. I can build this on my couch, but now you have something that's unique. And you know what? If you see anyone that doesn't have the black cover and it doesn't say Triumph on it, I think we should have
this to fail.
Open bounty that if you see something that looks like that doesn't say Triumph on it, rip it off and you know, send it to us with a postmarked envelope. We'll send you a prize. But you know what? We really got to look after that copyright.
You know, the thing is, I spent about 4 extra months of development. This is 2 years, but 4 months making sure that anybody who tried to copy is guaranteed to fail.
Yeah.
It's really sad that I had to do that, but in fact, it's designed so tight, so much on the edge, that the reason it's only RP-SMA is when we went to an SMA connector, it failed test.
Oh, nice.
So I actually had to redesign it, well, part of it, to make an SMA version. And it gives me this good feeling to know that anybody who attempts to clone it can't. And, you know, I'm sure they'll clone or try to, and then sell the clone. And then the guys who are going, ooh, look, I got a great deal, they make it about 30 feet and their video goes out. It's like, yeah,
exactly.
That's what happens. You know, it's sad, but oh well, at least I know this can't be cloned.
That one, yeah. And I mean, we don't want to, we'll knock on wood, you know. I'm sure these people, they're doing their best business to be able to come up with solutions. But, you know, definitely, I think as an industry, you know, I've been following along the SAG-AFTRA lately here, and you're like, you know, here's some other clones, and that's it, no more. No one's gonna be able to see pictures of my stuff anymore because, you know, it goes on the internet, boom, and you know, and that's a lot of your work. And obviously, we see that as wrong. But I mean, I love the outpouring of support from this community, and you know, we just want to see that pay forward. That you know, it's OEM or the original is the only way to go, and it's not only because it's the right thing. And now with the new Triumph, at least you know it's going to work as opposed to the clones. But also, you know, if you want to ensure that video aerial systems and companies like that who are coming up with this technology, the next new idea, I'm sure you're already 3 ideas ahead. But if you want that to keep coming out, you want to see more of this stuff, then you really have to support those that innovated it. So even though you're saving $5, you're actually doing like millions of dollars of irreparable damage to FPV by not supporting those that come out with it.
Yeah, this I've been developing this one, and you can, if you look closely, you can see the covers actually started to warp and egg. That's because the process to make it is exothermic. So I've got to figure out how to get the temperature down. But this is actually the highest performance Omni I've ever developed. So, but obviously the size is huge compared to the Triumph.
Right.
So, you know, it's a different design, but the great thing about this is not only did I make a really high performance Omni, but yeah, this is also going to be the cheapest Omni I've ever made.
Wow.
So now I've got a lot of time in it, but you know, the truth is I've been to a bunch of events and I put this on people's quads, I put it on their airplanes, I put it on their ground stations and said, give me your feedback. Let me know what you think. And the feedback has been phenomenal. So I basically had to figure out how to keep people from cloning it. And now I did, finally.
Another secret thing, yeah.
So, you know, it's going to be made in the USA, as always. Higher performance than anywhere else you can get, and at a price point that competes with the clones.
Nice.
So, I'm really happy with this one.
Very.
I'm really happy. This
is the Cyclone.
Yep. The axial ratio on that is about 0.97. So one of the things that we talk about when circular is things aren't purely circular. You know, if you rotate right hand and left hand at the same time, the horizontal components cancel and you get linear.
Okay.
And all antennas exert right hand and left hand. It's just when we say right hand, we mean right hand dominant.
Okay.
Or left hand dominant. And the ratio of those two is known as axial ratio. And that directly correlates to video clarity. Higher axial ratio, better video feed. Just to give you an idea, the skew planar wheels axial ratio, which is the foundation, basically the very first one that hit FPV. The axial ratio is about 0.42 to 0.44. Okay? It's okay, but obviously I was never happy.
Yeah.
The axial ratio of that at 0.9 is 0.97. So it's a logarithmic scale. So think of it like this. The skew planar wheel is about 6 to 7 dB more one way than the other, which correlates to about 3 times or 4 times more right hand than left hand. And in the RF world, that's not very much. And that's why you're seeing low power transmitters and high power transmitters making very small differences. Because doubling or tripling something is almost negligible. But at 0.97, you're looking at about 3,000 times more in the dominant direction than in the other. Yeah, so I'm really proud that I actually got this out of an Omni because it's never been done before.
No.
It's never been done, and I have to throw a little support to Hugo because as I've been developing this, Hugo's been there. He's a competitor, but he's been there rubbing my shoulders the whole time.
Yes.
As I'm refining and I'm testing, he's modeling it for me, making sure my test results match the model. And when I finally got it done, I realized something.
What's that?
I had something that he didn't.
Uh-oh.
And so I've spent the last couple months refining his Viravant the same way he helped me with my Cyclone.
Oh, nice.
And I got confirmation that it's going to work.
Nice.
So, you know, a lot of people feel that if you're buying from Hugo, you're kind of snubbing me somehow, and that's not true. He's a friend of mine. He's a co-developer. I mean, I see right here all true RC X2 Airs.
32 of them.
I love it. I love it. I just love it. You know, he and I developed that together.
That's amazing.
A lot of people give me all the credit, but you know, he deserves just as much as I do.
That's awesome.
He's a great guy. He's honest to a fault, and you know, anybody that supports him is inevitably supporting me. So
That's great. And I mean, these are the names. I mean, it's not something that looks like you're playing tic-tac-toe on it as a company name. You know, we're talking about Hugo from True RC Canada. And yeah, they support our ground stations that we're taking all over the continent. And these things are beasts. There's a lot of technology in there. Everyone knows we use Oracle boxes and receivers and special antenna. And then we dial in an individual configuration on each station. We're getting exceptional video here because it's outdoors. You know, there's nothing for the signal to reflect off of. And I mean, it's just, there's no Wi-Fi around here. So, I mean, it's overkill for what we need to do. You could just go out.
You do realize that on 25 milliwatts, that's a 1 mile link on a 25 milliwatt transmitter.
And we're running 200s. And you should see a 600 on these things.
Yeah, that's a good way to lose an aircraft.
Yeah.
Loss of control, goodbye.
But it's, when I talk to a lot of people when I pull them out, and I always make reference to, I'm like, they're very similar to an IBCrazy antenna, and you guys collaborated on them, which is amazing. And
yeah.
I mean, that's, you want to see everyone grow together because, you know, now that you figured out on this latest model, that 9.7 or 0.97 ratio, you know, now that's going to bring, you know, someone else is going to come out with something that you can give a little input, and then, you know, your next thing is going to be dialed in. But now that you have that missing quotient, that missing ingredient, I mean, the sky is the limit.
Well, the great thing, years ago, when FPV was in its infancy, you only had developers effectively and then followers, and the great thing was the followers would read and study and watch what the developers would do, and then all the developers would come together and give input to try to make the hobby actually happen. And what you see today is the work of a lot of those developers who, unfortunately, most of them are gone, but we work together as a community, as a group. And, you know, I see the receivers say DPCAV on them. You know, that's the guy who made the Oracle, Thomas Black.
Yep.
If I say RC Cam, I'd be surprised if 1% of the people actually knew who I was talking about. And he is one of the founders of the hobby.
Wow.
You know, without guys like him, it's not possible. And it's really great to see that those guys are still around. They're still developing. They're still trucking on. Because without them, we wouldn't have this hobby.
Well, I mean, and you know, and video aerial systems, you're at the multi-GP championships, you're going everywhere, so you're really pounding things, those miles on that RV. You know, an 11-hour commute, that's a nice one for you, right?
Well, I had help from Stone Blue. He drove halfway, so I only got 5.5 hours of driving. That does help. That and the fact that we just kind of goof off the whole drive. You always have to have somebody with you, otherwise it's just unbearable.
Exactly. Either that or you're doing Super Duty karaoke where you're just singing along to every song. But attending the events, I mean, even if it's a race, our big thing is racing, but also, you know, these FPV fun flies, you bring the gear here, you try it out, you're getting the feedback, that constant feedback from racing pilots, freestyle pilots, and just people flying whatever, right?
Well, that's actually the most important thing, because I have found that what I want isn't necessarily what everybody else does. So I take what I have, bring it to the show, and say, okay, fly it, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, and don't be friendly about it. If there's something you hate about it, tell me, because I want this to be a product for the masses. So what do I need to do to make it better? And it's been a great research tool. I've got a lot of good feedback, and, you know, you get to meet a lot of people that it's not every day that there's somebody from across the country that you've been talking to that you've never met, and then you get to meet them and say, shake their hand, and it's just it's a great feeling to know that there is somebody behind that computer screen. There's a human being there, and I'll never get used to this. I swear I'll never get used to this. When I show up to these shows, you know, people, that's their first show, they say, oh, Alex, IBCrazy.
Yeah, celebrity status.
Yeah, it's like some dude that came up with some stuff in his basement.
Yeah.
I still feel like that. I mean, come on. I'm wearing a sweatshirt with stains in it. I mean, I'm just some guy that at least.
Sorry,
the
Miley
outside looking
Cyrus woke up in her own urine this morning, so it happens to everybody, so it's all right.
in. Oh goodness.
But yeah, you know, innovation, one of the things that I like to say is, you know, innovation leading innovation, and attending these events. And when I saw the Duraspec come out, you know, I was just like, wow. From hosting races, we go in and basically we come in and we have guys that have never flown maybe once or twice. They show up, they have 600 VTXs, or you know, they only have a left-hand polarization Omni. And so we, in the start of racing, to try and get everyone through, or we call them cycle times, as Chris Thomas calls them, cycle times, we were providing VTXs and we're providing Omnis, and we're just destroying them, you know. And my last race in Canada, where we had massive gates, we wrecked 12 VTXs, loaner VTXs, in a day, and we only had 30 pilots. And Omnis, like, the number is way beyond it. I mean, we have to look at it. You could do it just like that. I have to like go with my finger like this to figure out the polarization. We have no caps left in Canada.
Well, that's why I do left hand green, right hand blue. You just look at the color. You don't have to know a thing. It's just like, oh, that's right hand or
and
left hand.
The Omnis we use, they are colored. You know, the ones that we have, I carry some brands with me, and it's white and it's black for left and right. But there's no caps. They're destroyed.
Right.
All we have is little pieces of metal. We twist them around and try and get it to work. So when I saw the Duraspec, I'm like, you know, if we do the loaner Omnis, that is the thing to do, because when these guys are hitting the gates, you know, sometimes they're going fast, but it's just that fraction of an inch, and boom, a traditional Omni's gone. And then I saw you with that hammer. I'm like, oh man, you can hit a gate doing 2,000 miles an hour.
That video was probably the most fun video I ever did, because I had come up with the Duraspec, and really the reason for it was I was getting upset that people were breaking their antennas. I'm like, okay, I've got to solve this. You shouldn't need to be replacing an antenna every day.
No.
So
props only, not antennas.
Yeah, well, you know, stuff will eventually break, but I mean, look at the Dow props. Man, they just last so much longer, and well, it's much easier on the wallet. So I needed to do the same thing with an antenna. And with the Duraspec, when I came up with it, really the only concept is a cable that I can do chin-ups from, and a foam fill inside. And when I finally got the foam fill figured out, I decided, well, I'm going to test it anyway, might as well put it on camera. And
that was a one-time first effort.
Yeah, I had no idea what I was going to do when I turned the camera on. I was like, well, I guess I'm going to go test it. And the first thing I saw was a claw hammer. I'm like, oh yeah, that'll work. And then the first swing or two wasn't real hard because I wasn't real sure. And then when the thing just sprung back, I just gave it everything it was worth, and just started having a really good time with it, like smashing the quadcopter off the bench. And I swear I did not plant that coil of wire to hold it down. I just looked at it. Oh wow, that'll work.
Yeah.
Like, I need to weight this thing down. And then my shivving manager was watching me, and he kept ducking every time I'd swing the hammer, expecting it to fly out.
Yeah. Especially if it didn't work, because the next thing to go was going to be the hammer. Yeah.
Well, after that, you saw me slam it on the desk, and I went, hey, sorry, Chuck, because it hit him.
Oh.
Because the world disappeared, and I'm like, this is fun. And then when I realized it wasn't breaking, I'm like, hey, let's go run it over with a car. That's absolutely ridiculous, right? And so we did. And then it didn't break. And then I realized the audio was off, and went, looks like we do it again.
Oh, nice.
And then we ran it over 5 more times.
Wow.
And then I continued to beat it with a hammer, and finally cracked the cover. And I'm like, hey, it still works. Oh, heck, we'll just light it on fire.
Yeah.
So and then after I lit it on fire, I'm like, I wonder how strong the cable is. And started doing chin-ups on it, and just doing the most ridiculous things I could think of, because it kept taking it.
Yeah.
And you know, I screwed it into an extension cable, put a 45-pound weight on it, then smacked it with a hammer and broke the extension cable. And it's like, you know, at that point I figured, yeah, if they break this, there's nothing else I can do.
No.
One other test we plan to do. Todd's setting up to fly. When you're lucky enough to know somebody who's a distributor for Dyna Nobel, You know, dynamite. Guess what the next test is going to be?
Oh, nice. We're going to blow some stuff up. I love it.
Oh, yeah,
CFL
we're going to
FPV
try
meet
and blow it up.
going to be epic with a pyrotechnics show.
Yeah, I mean, we're guys. We like blowing stuff
Why
up,
not?
so we're going to try.
I'm just surprised you haven't taken a gun to it yet, right?
Yeah, that's going to be part of that video.
Oh, nice. Next video, you're going to see it. Video Aerial Systems, also on Facebook as well. You're posting a lot of stuff to the Multi-GP group, which is where a lot of us are, Mini Quad Club as well. You see that video. I mean, it's going to go viral. You're going to open up your computer, and there is IBCrazy with the Cyclone or the DuraSpec, and it's going to be blown up. It's going to have a shotgun blast to it, and then we're going to put it on a quad and fly, and it'll be fine all day long.
Well, that's the idea. You know, this industry is about having fun, and well, doesn't mean you can't have fun testing.
No.
And the durability testing, yeah, that's a lot of fun. You get to be, when you have something that tough, you get to be really creative. And well, I've never actually set off dynamite.
Yeah. First time for everything.
Yeah, I mean, why not? This is gonna be fun. You know, that's why I got into this, and well, why not keep going?
Might as well keep going, right? If it worked the first time, might as well stick with what works. So where does everyone purchase the Triumph? Team Black Sheep is selling it, and you're selling it as well, and the Cyclone and the DuraSpec. Where do they get it online?
Well, we've got a couple supporters sitting right here. We've got Ready Made RC right next to Stone Blue Airlines. You know, they're two of my most supportive vendors, and they're here supporting the event. We've also got Multi-Rotor Mania back there in the corner. You know, any of these U.S. vendors, they've got them. They support us, so be wise to support them.
Yeah, support those who support you. Of course, that is the magic that is the legend in the mind of IBCrazy, the DuraSpec, the Cyclone, the Triumph, and a lot of the stuff that you see now, it was his innovation that really got us to where we are today, and made here in the United States of America. Support those who support you, and let's keep the company in business so you can keep coming up with more ideas.
Yeah, I don't think people realize the company isn't just me. I guess he landed, but we had, he's down there. Jason Van Gogh is his handle because he used to drive this huge conversion van to work. It was terrible. I mean, it was awful, and he just got a degree in graphic design, so Jeremiah called him Van Gogh, and it stuck.
At least he has all his ears, though, right? I thought maybe he lost his ear with a multi-rotor incident.
No, but he's, I think you're going to see him run this track, and I'd be very surprised to see if he doesn't finish second or better. He's a really good pilot, working with me for almost 3 years now, and, you know, he's not the only one. We've got a lot of people that go out and fly. They're hobbyists too. We enjoy this. We fly. So it's not just me. I have employees. Unfortunately, the one everybody remembered from SBA recently died.
Oh, no.
We're human. Yeah, he was the guy who, during the rainstorm, tied a hammock between two trees, pulled a tarp over his head, and fell asleep.
Nice.
Just like, wow.
He's left a legacy.
Yeah, I mean, so, you know, we're human. We same things everybody else does. So, you know, it was sad to lose him, but we were glad to have him, and he enjoyed what he did. So, you know, it's the least you can do. And when remember that an American vendor, we all have a story like that. Everybody here has a story. Most of us don't know what it is. But the great thing is, to me, being able to manufacture in the USA is pride when everybody else is sending it to China.
Yeah.
You know, I can employ fellow hobbyists and neighbors and friends. And, you know, I know Jason, he just got married.
Van Gogh.
They're buying, I don't know whether he did it yet or not, but they're looking to buy their first house.
Nice.
It's kind of nice to see that able to help them do that.
You're able to inspire others and not only support those in the hobby, but yeah, you're basically helping people live the dream.
Yeah, I mean, I run a very different shop too. I've worked for a lot of really bad managers, and I've worked for a lot of really good managers. So I do my best to be the really good manager. Most days,
Yeah.
I'm that guy. But
Otherwise, the hammer is coming out, so you better do what you need to do.
well, yeah, I guess. But most people walk into the shop, and I remember the last employer. They made us turn off our radios. We couldn't even listen to music when we work. It was like,
Yeah.
are you serious? Just that kind of garbage. We're accepting that you can't listen to the radio while you're running a welder. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll walk in, and some of my guys are chilling at their desk watching a YouTube video of a bunch of crashes, quad race, and that's okay.
It's that Google experience.
Well, yeah, if you get your job done, I don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't care. The laid-back environment, it makes you come to work with a smile on your face, leave with a smile on your face, and that's the way it should be. And I guess I'm stubborn, but I'm not willing to let that fade. I want to see. I mean, I don't know how many people here go, I hate my job.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to hear that from anybody, let alone somebody that works for me.
If you love your job, you'll never have to work a day in your life, right?
And that's the idea. It's the sense of pride that I've actually founded a business where people, my friends, my neighbors, fellow FPV pilots can come to work smiling, happy, enjoy their job, and still be able to support. Well, I was afraid that was going to come after it.
That sounded close, yeah.
I got the quads out of the corner of my eye.
I thought that was the hook coming. No, just a quad.
No, I'd hide behind you.
I appreciate it.
Don't worry.
I'm a wall. I'll take it.
But it's different, and I'm fighting to keep that alive. It feels, but so far it's worked.
Yeah.
But I really think it's amazing, because if you would have told me I'd be here with my own business, employing 9 other people 3 years ago, I'd have said not a chance, not a snowball's chance in hell.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know how. I had a lot of help.
Yeah.
I had a lot of help, but it happened, and I see everybody with a smile on their face. Until somebody makes Mark mad. I mean, then he's flushed in the face, and then he forgets about it 5 minutes anyway, and we all kind of go, yeah, that's Mark. But I guess that happens. But it's just nice, because I can change the face of FPV. At least for a few people, I can change.
Yeah.
So
it's a great experience.
It is, and if someday it's not sustainable, well, not lasting.
Yeah.
So, but I'm fighting to keep it there. I'm doing my best.
Ride those coattails as long as they will last, right? Ride that wave, and I'm sure you're going to be, keep innovating, and the next great idea will just keep you guys rolling.
That's what I hope. That's what I hope. But the truth is, doubt is very strong. There's always the seeds of doubt. We're all human. I always doubt whether I'll be able to do that. Will I actually be good enough to come up with another innovation? And at this point, it's never failed me. But I'm human. We're all human. So,
yeah.
But on the other side, when I walk into that door, the doubt vanishes. I'm just kind of absorbed in the design. I'm enjoying myself. The guys are enjoying themselves. And occasionally we go, man, it's a nice day. Let's go fly.
Yeah.
That's awesome,
Or testing, whatever you want to call it. Let's go testing.
No. It's just go bashing. We go out and go fly, and we have a good time. And that's the spirit, because surefire way to kill the creative juices fun. I found the quality of work is better, quality of life is better, and you can't argue with it.
Yeah.
You know, we've I don't know how many quads we've wrecked in our parking lot. Mostly mine. You know, most of my guys are better pilots than I am. But so when you see a spill of parts across the parking lot, that was
you.
That was me. That
My
was
bad.
me. You know, but you know, it's kind of nice. You go to work and you can play, and then I mean, sure, you got to buckle down and work, but that's the part you're not going to avoid. But it doesn't.
That's it.
So and really happy to provide that kind of environment, and then turn around and provide the technology for this industry that I love. So can't beat it. I really love this, and I thank.
Yeah, no, we appreciate you being here. Of course, your support. An event like this couldn't happen technology-wise from, you know, your innovation that we're seeing in the air here as they're still doing controlled time frequency assignments, but also your support of the event. IBCrazy, Video Aerial Systems. He's here all weekend long. CFL FPV Meet 2016. And, you know, now let's do some flying. Let's have some fun.
Yeah.
Let's kick back and relax, huh?
Well, in my typical signature sign-off, I'm Alex Greve, and keep 'em flying.